glycemic agents. But there are issues with this because it has some side effects. Let's have the next slide. It has some side effects. And because of this, these are some of the side effects: weight gain, hypoglycemia, fatigue, and the rest of them. Then another issue is that they are expensive. Some of them are not affordable and they are not accessible and available. So because of that, WHO now recommended that they should investigate the traditional way of managing diabetes. Next slide, please. So then, NMDA, in particular,
diabetes is a dangerous one, and for the agency to have done, I think we should appreciate the agency, because I know this thing was a talisman of India. We may not know, but I will still talk about them. Quickly, let me invite Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry will be talking about tea or management of. Henry, while we await Mr. Henry to product during about tea. Mr. Henry, please hurry up. We are waiting for you. After Mr. Henry, after Mr. Henry would just like Madam in 3-4 minutes, will quickly tell us if we are waiting for you. Plus, it's taking a long pause to get. Don't let the long pause be like the journey of the. Thank you. Applause for him.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, sir, please can I stand on the existing protocol? Please, MC, You will increase the time for me, please. We are talking of malaria. Next slide, please. Next slide. We see malaria as very simple, but if we leave it untreated, it becomes a life-threatening disease. I want to give keynotes from WHO in 2022. In 2021, an estimation of 247 malaria cases worldwide. Malaria deaths stood at 619 in 2021, 625,000 in 2020. The worst of this issue is in African regions where the highest burden of malaria exists. In 2021, the region has 95% of malaria cases and 96% of malaria deaths. And this falls under children of under 5 years, which accounted for 80% of all malaria cases and deaths. Next slide, please. Unfortunately, out of these African countries, only 4. And out of these 4, it's unfortunate that I'm a Nigerian, and all of us are Nigerians. We have the highest. Look at us at 31.3%. Congo at 12.6%, Tanzania at 4.1%, and our younger brother, Niger, at 3.9%. About 35 countries in 2021 reported fewer cases of 1,000 malaria cases. Then in 2015, WHO has certified 9 countries free from malaria. And for us, Algeria, which is one of us in Africa, have been certified malaria-free in 2019. Malaria, as we know, can be prevented, can be managed, and is curable. Please, next slide, please. This is what I call malaria overview. As we know, caused by Plasmodium parasite. There are 5 Plasmodium parasites that causes malaria in human, and 2 of these Plasmodium are the greatest threat. Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax. The falciparum is the deadliest malaria parasite and is more prevalent in African continent, while the other Plasmodium vivax exists in other continents. As we said, caused by Plasmodium parasite, spread to people by bites of infected female Anopheles mosquito. Just like we said, Plasmodium falciparum, the deadliest malaria parasite in Africa. The next slide, please. Now, what are the initial symptoms? We have the fever, we have chills, high temperature, and even then early diagnosis. The case management in malaria has to do with early diagnosis, because if you leave malaria untreated, it might contribute to a lot of other diseases that will impact on the body. For Plasmodium, the first line treatment in Nigeria and in Africa is the ACT, antimicin-based combination therapy, which primary objective is to ensure rapid and full elimination of Plasmodium parasite to prevent uncompleted case of malaria from progressing to severe disease or death. Next slide, please. According to WHO, there's a recommendation for malaria prevention tools, malaria prevention tools and strategy, which are effective vector control and use of preventive anti-malaria drugs. In the effective vector control, we have insecticide-treated net and indoor residual spraying. Next slide, please. In 2021, precisely in October, the WHO recommended the broad use of RTSS, S/ASO, which is a vaccine to treat children under 5 living in moderate to high Plasmodium falciparum malaria transmission. The vaccine has shown to significantly reduce malaria. The vaccine program currently coordinated by WHO in Ghana and Malawi has reached over 900,000 children. According to WHO, it is safe, feasible to deliver, and reduce severe malaria disease. Anti-malaria drug resistance. Over the last decade, malaria drug resistance has emerged as a threat to global malaria control. According to Tele et al. 2016, resistance to mostly commonly used drug, antimicin, first-line drug class as anti-malaria is a threat to malaria control. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Now, this is the product, please. What is Amarus? Amarus is an organic anti-malaria herbal tea processed, developed, formulated, and produced from Nigerian indigenous medicinal plants by NMD, an agency of Federal Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation. It's a half-hour coordination for management and treatment of malaria. It has a NAFDAC listing. Please, next slide. Why Amarus? Because of what? Drug resistance. Need to develop anti-malaria therapy for Nigerian medicinal plant. Need to explore synergistic activity of Nigerian medicinal plant. Need for job creation, wealth creation through medicinal plants cultivation and training. Next slide, please. What is the end? To carry out antiplasmodial properties of some Nigerian medicinal plants, towards formulation and development of an easy, flexible, relatively low cost, low level of technological input, relatively low side effect of anti-malaria herbal tea and capsules. Next slide, please. What are the physical properties of this tea? The sample is powder, the color is green, the odor is mild odor, the taste is slightly bitter, the size is over 850 microns, the water content level is 4%, the moisture content is 8%, the moisture content is 4%, please. Ash content is 8.9%. Then this is the description of how we do the work. Sourcing of raw materials, identification, weighing, washing, and drying. Next slide, please. Determination of each constraints of the combined extracts, adoption of appropriate formulation, because you are mixing 2 to 3, 5 medicinal plants. So there must be a proper formula for them to synergize very well. Then production. Next slide, please. The research so far we have carried out AD50, acute toxicity, subchronic, biochemistry and histopathology of the organs, blood analysis, and microbial load. In conclusion.
Okay. If I allow him to keep talking, we may not...
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Already, Furo is on our neck, waiting. They are breathing hard on us, and we still need to achieve one or two things. The bottom line is that malaria is a terrible one, and we must not allow it to stay amidst us. And the product here is one thing that will send malaria packing completely, so that we'll have that strength and the kind of health needed to diversify our economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for him one more time. Thank you very much. And I hope Pharmacist Sule is ready. Please come. Come. I expect him not to look at any slide, particularly because of what he wants to talk about. The product is the real man, erectile dysfunction management. Just speak extempore, don't look at any slide. Tell us what erectile dysfunction is and what this product does. Straight to the point. And you have 120 seconds, and your time starts now.
The chairman and the entire team, permit me to stand on existing protocol. I believe that it has well been established. I'm by name Bibino Daniel Sule. Today I will be doing justice to 3 of our products that have been listed by NAFDAC. I will start my slide. Permissions, the team, they say I don't need slide. So, first and foremost, we are taking Coviron. Coviron is our product developed by the agency during COVID. This product was developed after series intentional and intensive research work by the team of researchers in NMDA. The product actually is focused, the focus of the product is to manage the symptoms associated with COVID. Particularly in COVID, what causes the challenge is the inability of the patient to breathe freely through the lungs. There is aperture, there is inability of the airways, the alveoli to open up. So when an individual is infected by the COVID-19 virus, what happens is that there is what we call angiotensin converting enzyme. The angiotensin converting enzyme is the culprit. I call it the principal success in COVID-19 cases. What it does is that it is a major enzyme that binds with the coronavirus and transports it into the alveoli, thereby causing or triggering reactions that lead to the following. One, mucus secretion. It triggers abnormal reaction in the lungs, thereby making it difficult for the patient to breathe. When that happens, the patient finds it very, very hard to inhale and exhale air. Oxygen content decreases to about 50% in such condition, thereby reducing the carrying capacity of oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. That is what results to death. And when the virus enters the alveoli, it reacts with the immune system. Because the immune system is already very, very compromised, it gets into alveoli, then into the lungs, then into the sacs, thereby causing inflammation. When there is inflammation, the entire what we call inflammatory markers, they trigger the reaction. That is why people are being assisted by nebulizers through their nose, because the mucus have covered the airways, and that is what results to death. That is the first stage. So this product is tailored particularly to focus on combating the activity of angiotensin II converting enzymes, thereby forming a chelate or a complex with the enzyme, thereby inhibiting the ability of the virus to get into the lungs. So this is a great, excellent work the agency has done. Then, apart from that, when an individual takes the product, what happens is that our product forms a complex with the enzyme called angiotensin II. That is the principal mechanism of action of our product. And it's very clear. And that inhibits the parasite from getting into the system. If the individual has the virus, but when you take our product, because the affinity of our product to the angiotensin converting enzyme 2 is higher as compared to, we have done comparative studies with the 3 major drugs used in the management of COVID-19, specifically hydroxychloroquine, which is an antimalarial, remdesivir, which is antiviral, and then chloroquine, which is antimalarial, and dexamethasone, which is steroids. Our product's affinity test from the molecular docking has shown that we have -41, while all the 3 products, remdesivir, dexamethasone, and hydroxychloroquine, has 31. This has given our product an edge over all of them put together. What this implies is that this product is not only a product for COVID, it's a product of the future. It has the ability to combat the impact of other viruses. And I believe that Nigeria will be proud to present this to the global stage as a product for the future. The next product I'm looking at is the real man. The real man is a person that is real at home, thereby making it possible for Madam to thank him after activity. Therefore, because of the issue of divorce, confusion, we are, as an agency, have seen the need to take care of the home front, because a disengaged, disorganized, and destabilized family is a destabilized nation. Because of that, the NMD have taken a giant step to produce a product called Real Man. The mechanism of action of the Real Man, as compared to the common products in the market, is that the common products in the market, because of fear of contradiction, I will not be able to mention products brand name. Other products, when a man takes it, within 15 minutes, he has full erection. What happens is that it stimulates the production of nitric oxide in men, while our product does not stimulate the production of nitric oxide, but it binds to the enzyme that stimulates the production of nitric oxide, thereby building the nitric oxide concentration gradually over 48 hours. And I can assure you there is no side effect. The pure vaginal wash is
thank you. A round of applause for him. Please let's appreciate him. I understand what is going on. Perhaps if we had started by 10 o'clock, we would not have found ourselves in this. But he has told us this is a fantastic product. From COVID-19 to the real man and the real woman. He was unable to talk about the real woman. We also need the real woman at home, not just the real man. I never knew pharmacists can play on words, and the way he played on words, very nice. A round of applause for him once again.
Thank you very much. We want to appreciate all of you for. Normally, when people are invited to an expo, I told you earlier on, there are a few things we want to learn, and very quickly, we want to see the output since the last 12 months. and we have them here in abundance. We listen to the DG. He actually listed about 14 of them. So I want us to begin to focus on the product. And another major reason we're here is to engage one another, is to see to what extent this institution has been pursuing the primary objectives of their coming into existence. And then, of course, if I were the DG, I'm very proud of your boys. They look very sharp indeed, all of them. They didn't want to listen to. They didn't want to listen to our timing consciousness. And I think it's all kudos to everybody. So please, let's identify 2 people who would like to make 1 or 2 contributions and 2-3 people with questions. And strictly 1 minute per person. 1 minute. That's why I'm upstanding. I recognize you, sir, and you are number 1. I'm moving in this direction, madam. You are number 2. You tell us your name and your question. I'm on number 2. Yes, I'm on number 3 because you are seated beside me. And you have been troubling me all day. Do I want to take you? Is there anybody on that side waiting? Okay, so I'll come to madam. You raising up your hand. You are number what? Number 4. Now, I'll go back to my friend there and I'll give you number 5. Number 5. And that's it. That's it. I only have 5 people for 5 minutes. Do I start from this front or I start from number 1? Who is number 1? Are you ready? I know this guy. Are you still here? Fantastic. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Make it brief. Watch out, because he's going to write about it. Thank you very much. You are welcome once again.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. My name is Bonnie Alams, publisher, African Science and Tech Digest. Just one question, Prof, and 1 suggestion. I start with suggestion, and it goes like this. Yes, first of all, I'm impressed with the level of improvement, especially the packaging of the products. I'm highly impressed. I'm impressed as a good one. Now, I'm also suggesting, sir, because I don't know when we should start seeing some of these products in various pharmacy shops, especially in my village. Nigeria is a vast country. It doesn't always gladden my heart when I have events like this. We only see it. We that are privileged in Abuja and Lagos. But in the rural areas, we don't see them. Honestly, this is a fantastic product that will solve a lot of health problems. And finally, how many patents have you had so far? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, madam, you have the mic. Very quickly introduce yourself and then go to the point. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ruth Wezen. I'm a consultant with environmental management and occupational health. I want to commend the product as well. But my question is, are you working or collaborating with the Research Institute, and then the of Health, they have a herbal, something like that, section. That's one. Then secondly, do you have anything for which I know that you should be looking at, because arthritis is another major, health.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. DG, sir, I hope you have somebody who's assisting you to take the points. You are noting them. Well, number 3, I'm not going to take you now. I will allow you to speak last. Who is number 4? Madam, are you ready with your comment or question? Is it a question or a comment? Thank you very much. Thank you.
My name is Juliet. I have a question on the day that talked about diabetes. She told us that the plant is also environmental friendly. So I want to know, how can we get that plant?
Thank you very much. I like it when it's so brief. The final one. Number 5, sir. Yes, it's your turn. Yes, you can have it. Please have this. Have this.
My name is Haruna Bala, Secretary General, 90 Employee City Chapter. I would like first and foremost to commend the organizers of this gathering, and equally we believe the agency is formulating policies that will uplift the standard of traditional medicine, not only in the city or Nigeria, but the whole world. I would like to ask this question. Dr. Bader Sule, the medication you introduced for COVID-19, does it equally contribute towards the cure of other respiratory tract problems like pneumonia, bronchitis, tuberculosis, and so on and so forth?
Please, a round of applause for all of them. Please, let's appreciate all of them. Immediately, you can see that the interest is there. This is what this type of gathering should be all about. Actually, it's not for us to be given lectures. I've already stated that severally. Let people ask questions. Let people pass comment about what they are seeing or what they have seen. And indeed, we will have the opportunity of going to the pavilion very shortly. I'm going to give the last opportunity to my friend here. He will be given 2 minutes rather than 1, because he has general observations. Apparently, he has been going round and round, and then he will also concentrate on the business that we have been part of this morning. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, the DG, I'm Sir Henry Etama. I'm the project manager implementing the national strategy for global competitiveness. If we take this global competitiveness, you'll be able to see and begin to ask questions. If this is true, of which it is true, if this is true, then this agency does not need any budgetary allocation. It should be a multi-billion naira establishment. But the question is why it is not. Because if you have done all this, particularly malaria and diabetes alone, malaria and diabetes alone, this is a breakthrough, scientific breakthrough that is traceable, is testable, and it's documented. I've gone through the same thing with Firo, the same thing with Naseni, the same thing with the other agencies. What is lacking is taking this to the market. Somebody say, when shall we see this in our shelves? You can't take them to market anyhow, because they are products for human consumption, particularly when it concerns food and medicaments. It's not something you just produce and drop at the shelf. So that thing that is lacking is why the federal government established and approved the National Strategy for Global Competitiveness. What is lacking is the National Quality Infrastructure, NQI, for all these products. Any industrial product you pick, you take it, even this water you are drinking, if you look at it, you see all the calibrations. 5% this, 2% that, 10% this, X% that. If you have the national quality infrastructure, it means that a commercialization can take place. The entrepreneur, Nigerian entrepreneurs are not carried along. If they are not carried along, you cannot commercialize. They are not salary earners. They are risk bearers. They live on what we call surplus value in the system. So, what I'm advising is that we must move another step from here. Nigerian scientists want to be the one that will make the scientific breakthrough, be the one to package, be the one to market, be the one. It's not done like that in developed countries. You make your breakthrough. The moment you make your breakthrough, the next level of people, particularly in the social sciences, take it up. And from there, they will look at whether it's viable, whether it's feasible. After the regulatory bodies must have confirmed standardization, metrology, and conformity assessment tests from appropriate regulatory bodies. So what we are saying is, we are going to partner, is my best friend in the agency, and we work together to make sure that even if it's one of these products, that Nigeria can establish the quality infrastructure, that an entrepreneur can take it up, whether the factory is in Kaduna or in Meduguri or in Lagos or in Calabar. Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola. Anywhere you produce it, it gives you the same Coca-Cola. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him, please. We are coming gradually to the close of this meeting. I would like to give 3 minutes to the DG to respond to all the comments and questions. Thank you.
Thank you, my prof. I want to thank everybody for the interest shown on our presentation. And I'm also happy to acknowledge the commendations and the recommendations that you brought forward to us. The few questions, briefly, because of time. Patent. This is, we've not been able to have a patent because the products are derived from traditional medicine knowledge. And therefore, and once you produce it into, it's already in the public domain, it is the processes for the production that you will patent. Because the medicinal, aromatic, and medicinal plants are there for everybody. Somebody asked just now, can I have the name of the medicinal plant that you use? I may not. That product was specifically developed to take care of all severe acute respiratory diseases, and that is what the presenter alluded to in his presentation. Don't forget that even the COVID, there are various variants of COVID as of today. The advantage of our product to managing COVID is because it's non-specific. It is not Omicron. It is not this other. It's an immune booster, which is very important. It opens the airways that you can. It also has an anti-inflammatory property. So the cough, the respiratory, the inflammations, and the denial of oxygen that product has, this is what stands it out against other products. And we mentioned earlier, we did a comparison of this product activities with the existing products that WHO has been approved to manage COVID at that time. So you have, if you take this, it opens your airway, you can take enough air, and you also boost your immunity. Budgetary allocation. My brother, you said, they're not giving me money again. You won't kill us. We are just coming up. By the time we start marketing these 5 products, like you rightly said, we should be able to be earning some money. And don't also forget that this agency is fully funded by government. And the law says if you are fully funded, return everything to TSC. So there's also a challenge that we need to sort out there. But at our own level, we've established, we were able to register what we call NNMBA consult with the CAC. The work of that consult is to reach out to establish entrepreneurs, establish companies, and I'll tell them we have this product. Come and let's discuss. We're going to collaboration or partnership. They will take it from there, then we can we'll be able to make additional funds for increase our internally generated revenue for that. Commercialization, like I mentioned, you know as much as I know, we don't have the angels that they have in developed countries that can easily come and pick your product and fund it and you go. In this country, as of today, we don't. But we'll work with you, just as you mentioned, to explore all opportunities that we have to make sure that we have these are products. Like I mentioned, we have about 14 products, 5 have NAFDAC listing. We were expecting about 2 NAFDAC listings this month. If we had the this Expo in March, as we usually have it, we would have gotten up to 10 products that NAFDAC listed. We've already submitted every documentation to NAFDAC. So we are working hard on that. Somebody COVID-19 can use it for tuberculosis. For now, but I cannot categorically say yes. But in other diseases that has to do with your respiratory tract, it is very good to go. You collaborating with NIPRID. NIPRID is a research institute, like we are. When there are areas where we can collaborate, we collaborate. But we collaborate with NAFDAC. Because without collaborating with NAFDAC, you may not be able to get your listing. We collaborate with Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Yaba. Some of the insectaries, most of the products we have to take care of insectaries and all that. We use the insectaries, but we are consulting our industries now. In the NTD, we have a product there called for fly, for the management of insects and all that. Like the DG Night I mentioned, we are collaborating with that. And even some universities, like University of Port Harcourt, University of Federal Polytechnic, Dekiti, and the Federal University of Technology in Mina. We have collaboration with them. The last point, even though we are talking about, if we really want to maximize the potentials of natural medicine product, knowledge, and the bioresources, we must deliberately, it is a deliberate and calculated effort to continue to promote cultivation of these raw materials. Because without having a standard raw material, you will not be able to do anything. And with the climate change and the activities of developmental activities, and the wild crafting cannot pay, we must continue to encourage our people. Our practitioners are here, other entrepreneurs are here. This country has lots of vast arable land. We must deliberately encourage ourselves to go into cultivation of these medicinal plants. If anybody is interested, meet us, we will be able to work together. Thank you very much once again for coming.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the DG. And indeed, with all members of the management team of Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency for a job well done. Like I said, this is just what we have done is to tell us what the situation is today. It's briefly the situational analysis. Going forward, a number of us here have actually asked questions, and there's another lady there talked about coordination, collaboration, which is vital. Turning knowledge to wealth, it's another takeaway from here. And we have to do this to the level that he anticipated. In other words, stop going to federal government of Nigeria, focus on your product, and you will make it. We don't have the time to talk about everything, but let me quickly, can you step to that side? See the zonal offices here, you can interface with this agency. There are about 6 or 7 offices outside Lagos. Please focus attention and engage, because a major takeaway from here is the opportunity to begin to collaborate effectively. We need to engage. It's no longer sufficient for us to be a standalone institution of government. Please, we need to engage. Nobody does science in silos. Everywhere in the world we connect. And that connection to be fruitful, people must engage with each other. And I think on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate the management, including members of the board, for the opportunity to be part of this very wonderful and highly rewarding gathering. I'm looking forward to future engagements with you. And at that point, the vote of thanks giver is standing already. I should not give the vote of thanks. But at least I must thank the MC, because usually they forget to thank him. Thank you very much, sir. It's our pleasure.
Good afternoon once again. I stand on the existing protocol I want to recognize the chairperson of this occasion, our DG, the board chairman, the sitting director generals, the all important visitors that have graced our day. I want to tell you that we are eternally grateful to you for your presence, for your contributions to making this event a success. And as you leave here and go back to your various destinations, we wish you God's protection and prosperity. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. That was beautifully done. Distinguished gentlemen, whatever has a beginning must surely have an end. Yeah. Whatever has a beginning must surely have an end. And I have some quick announcements for us. I want to encourage everybody present here to please go to the pavilion, visit the stand of the agency, and have a closer look at some of these products that we have talked about. But let me close this day with this. You know, for diversification, each time we talk about it, we have said for a very long time, we keep relying on a single product to generate revenue for the country. Rather than finding solution, how do we get out of it? What most of us do is the blame game. And today we have talked to ourselves that we have a lot of things we can actually take advantage of within the country so that we stop this idea of blame game. Collectively, we can get it done. Collaboratively, we can move the nation forward. And we believe everybody here has taken one thing or the other home. And what we want to see is results. We want to see action. We encourage you also to network appropriately before you leave. Don't just come, find out about the person next to you. You never can tell what may come out of that. We appreciate everybody one more time. My name is Isaac Olui, and I've been the one moderating for you since the beginning of this program. May I please crave our indulgence to stand as we bring this day to a close by singing the first stanza of the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is time for us to arise and then take action over what we have listened to here today. Arise, O compatriots. 1, 2, go.
Let